Money rotation into the Russel 2000. Maybe the beginning of a bearish trend. No one knows. The only thing we have full control of is our risk management, preparing for the worst case scenario. Hey there, Tommy from Fibonacci.com, your daily market recap. You know what to do. Let's see the charts. What do we always say? Always prepare for the worst case scenario. Always protect the downside. The only thing that matters is market reaction to the numbers, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter that we saw that the CPI is cooling off. Mr. Market thinks different. This is why the only thing we have full control of is our risk management. The only thing we need to prepare is for the worst case scenario. But let's get into proportions. SPY went down only 0.86% to the downside. Yes, it seems very scary. Yes, our emotions got kicked in. But, ladies and gentlemen, since the dip of May, end of May, all-time highs, 8.8% in 1.5 months. So now we're only 8%. 8 is a Fibonacci number. Now the 555 needs to hold, otherwise back to the 550. PPI numbers coming up Friday, tomorrow, before the opening bell, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Good reaction, and we're back. 567 and 574. Always zoom out, and then you will get better point of view of price action. Look at the QQQ. Crashed 2.2% to the downside. Just gave back 4 days of gains. Is it really the start of the crash? Still holding above the yellow zone. Still inside a very, very nice uptrend since the dip of April until all-time highs. 22% to the upside. So it gave back 2.2. So what? It happens. It happens. Yes, we need to prepare for the worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario is still not ahead of us. The worst case scenario will be once we will break below the 485, and then we can say with any doubt that this bull run is over. But as long as we're above the 484, maybe even above the 474, we are still in an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows. Only above 473, in my opinion, this will be the line in the sand, and then this gap will get filled, and then we are heading back to the 455. But PPI coming up, good reaction, and we might get an inside candle or the same candle but to the upside, back to the uptrend. 510, 514, zoom out and manage your emotions. Dow Jones 0.09, relative strength. Look at this, 400 once again. Dow Jones almost new all-time highs. As long as we are above the 395, 394 area, we are inside uptrend. Upper lows, higher highs. Now we are at the top of this uptrend. Some kind of a pullback with this kind of doji will be not surprising. We are at the top of an uptrend. Every time you see a doji of a trend line, prepare for a trend reversal. Same as did here, trend reversal. Here, trend reversal. Here, trend reversal. Now, once again, doji of a trend line, 85% chance, trend reversal in the coming days. IWM, the Russel 2000, ladies and gentlemen, 3.6% to the upside. Look at this massive gap, and we know that more than 85% of all gaps will get filled throughout time, so be prepared. We are now once again at the 210 area, very, very tough resistance, long continuation, and we are heading towards the 220. No need to guess, just put the FTI. Look where the FTI is taking us. Let's do it to the upside. Next resistance, and we will meet 214, 217, and 220 to the upside. Now, look at the RSP, the equal weight ETF of the S&P 500. We broke a downtrend channel, downtrend line, sorry, since April. 3 months of a downtrend line. Now, the 165 area needs to hold the support. Long continuation, and we are inside an uptrend channel. Finally, from downtrend, short-term downtrend, back to the long-term uptrend. RSP, equal weight ETF, closed the day with 1.2% to the upside. IWM 3.6% to the upside. Yes, the Magnificent 7 got smacked in the head with 4.5% to the downside. But it's only 7 stocks, only 7 names, maybe more total, but those are the Magnificent 7. And if they get smacked in the head, the rest of the S&P, the SPY, is getting smacked in the head as well. But the RSP, the IWM, the Dow Jones, holding strong. SOXX 3.3% to the downside. We are still inside an uptrend channel. One candle, and it doesn't matter how big, how scary it looks, does not change the overall sentiment. We are still inside an uptrend channel. We are still above the lower border of this uptrend channel. Once we will break this channel, this red line, at least 2 or 3 days breaking below, 2 or 3 days breaking below, and then we can say that this uptrend is final, its end. But as long as we're inside, even one candle to the downside from this, it's okay. Relax. Get your emotions in place. And if one candle like this, 0.86% to the downside, gets you scared, you're over trading, you're oversizing. Bitcoin still moving sideways, still below the red trend line. Nothing much on Bitcoin. This is the neckline. It broke now from a very important area of support, very tough resistance. We have this also here, and we have another support over here below the 57. We are heading towards the 52, 50, below 50. The way is back below 40. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Not what anybody else thinks. No matter what anybody else thinks about Ethereum and the Bitcoin. What do you think where Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, will end up 2024? Do you really believe almost 80% in just under 5 months? Under 6 months, sorry. 150 by the end of 2024? 160% to the upside? It never did it. Never. It never did see this kind of bounce, bull run, bull mania in under 6 months. January 21 until April 21, it gained from here to here 122% back in 2021. But we are over 62. Can we get the same price action? Here it went from January all the way to the peak. 90%. I don't say it cannot happen, but in my opinion, the chances are super slim. Ethereum also moving sideways. All this area is a very tough resistance. All this area support. Long continuation only above the 3150, but we are still under this trend line. Take trend lines and they will show you the sentiment. And the sentiment for now, since May, is downtrend. KRE, welcome to the show. KRE, finally, this gap is gone. We have been talking about this gap so long, and here we are. Close the gap. KRE in the past 3 trading days gained, ladies and gentlemen, 9.5% to the upside. Finally broke above this area of resistance, broke above this area of resistance. Now we are heading towards the 5250, the next major resistance. Above the 5250, we have another gap over here at the 5450, and we know that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when all the gaps will get filled. Now, if we zoom out to the weekly, this is how it looks on the weekly. We have a triple bottom over here. Above this one, we are heading here, here, 58, and then 62. Let me know. Are you holding KRE? Are you holding KRE? Don't forget to check the links in the description below. We have limited time offer. 60 minutes crash course. The Fibonacci Traders 60 minutes crash course. What does it mean? It means I took the mentorship program, the one-on-one live mentorship program, which is around 7 or 8 hours. I just compressed it into 60 minutes. Everything that I know, how I find A+ setups, how I chart, how I use Fibonacci, how I use trend lines, how I read price action, how I manage risk, all 60 minutes. Check the links in the description below. Claim your offer today. It's only, all my knowledge, only $197. Apple 2.3% to the downside. Went new all-time highs at the 233.08. This is on the weekly. Let's zoom in on the daily. Lower highs, lower lows on the daily. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. Yes, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive uptrend candles came candle number 8. And 8, you know, is a Fibonacci number. Does it mean that now we are heading back to the 220 area for this area to check it as support? Maybe. But we are still inside an uptrend. As long as we are above this trend line, we are in an uptrend. Microsoft 2.5% to the downside after 4 days of just consolidation. Bears came in, took the chance, broke Microsoft 2.5% to the downside. But as you can see, if we take the last 21 trading days, we are still above the yellow zone. Look at the upper border of the yellow zone from resistance to support. All you need to do, put the FTI in your chart, and it will help you manage risk. It will help you manage your emotions. It will help you make better, smarter decisions. Look at this. We are still inside the left lane of an uptrend channel, and we know that the left lane is the fastest lane up. Breaking below, we will see 447 and 441. Nvidia, another day, 5.6% to the downside. Ladies and gentlemen, just gave back 3 consecutive dojis. We said, if you follow me on YouTube, we said that these dojis signals a very, very tough battle between buyers and sellers. 3 dojis, buyers came with the upper hand. But today, bulls just wiped out 4 days of gains. Now, the lower border of the yellow zone, the 126.70, holding a support. We got also a sell signal from the FTI. Doesn't mean we need to go short on Nvidia. It just means that this uptrend for now is done. Downtrend continuation. Back to the 123 and 118. Tesla, 8.44% to the downside. heading back to close the gap at the 231 and maybe to the 213. Yes, the same price action we saw to the upside can be to the downside. Always, always, always prepare for the worst case scenario. And when I say prepare for the worst case scenario, I mean protect your downside. If you took Tesla over here, you gained 32%. Now, without the proper risk management, Tesla took back 8.5%. Now, you feel like you never had gains, right? This is emotions. Emotions kicks in, and when emotions kicks in, we make mistakes. This is why we need to perfect mastering risk management. It's only about how much are we willing to lose. It also helps us control our emotions. Check the Fibonacci Traders Academy playlist, free playlist, 40 videos on how to become a better trader on the technical side and on the emotions, the psychology behind trading. It's free. Each video around 10-13 minutes long. You will find there everything that you want about risk management, how to manage your emotions, and how to implement it in your trading strategy. It's free. Check it. You will not regret it. AMD holding relative strength, still holding above the 180 area. 175 is the most important area of support for now. Still bullish on 3 out of 4 time frames. Long continuation, and we will see 196 and this gap at the 206 getting filled. Amazon 2.4% to the downside after so many days of just sideways move, with price action getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Bulls gave up, bears came in strong and threw back Amazon towards where? The upper border of the yellow zone. Just went back to July 1st. That's it. Nothing dramatic. Yes, it looks very dramatic. Amazon is falling 2.4%, but we're just back to beginning of July. Meta 4% to the downside, still holding inside an option channel. Will this trend line break to the downside? Maybe. Maybe after PPI, the market will continue to the downside and Meta will follow the market back to the 492. And don't forget, Meta have a gap at the 478. But zoom out. Meta is still in an uptrend. Google 3% to the downside, also still in an uptrend, holding above the upper border of the yellow zone. If this is the start of a bear's trend, we will see 182 together with the red trend line. SMCI 1.2% to the downside, still holding inside the yellow zone. Nothing much on SMCI. We are still with higher lows since the low of April. I want to see, if I want to go long on SMCI, I want to see weekly close above the 918. Palantir 2.7% to the downside. Overall, nothing much. What's the difference between today's candle to Monday's candle? Nothing. The low, we have higher lows. Look at this. We are still higher low than Monday's candle. We have higher high than the rest of the candles. This is an engulfing candle. If Palantir will break below, daily close below the 27.36, and then we're heading to retest the 26.40 together with the lower border of an uptrend channel. Netflix. Multi-top scenario. We talked about this multi-top scenario in the past few days, and here we are. 3.7% to the downside, broke the yellow zone. Now, continuation down, 640, 627. Shopify, relative strength. Try to break this uptrend channel, But one candle does not change the overall sentiment, but same as Netflix. Look at this. Multi-top scenario, double top, multi-top, continuation to the downside, 64, 63, below 63. The same price action we saw over here to the upside. We might get back to the downside to the 60 area. AVGO, 2.2% to the downside, but we're just back 1 week. July 3rd. Retesting the upper border of the yellow zone as support, from resistance to support. Continuation to the downside, 16, 30 and 15, 80. Don't forget, more than 85% of all gaps. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Eli Lilly, 0.6% to the downside, and Eli Lilly still bullish on all time frames. Very amazing option channel, bullish on all time frames. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 gainers in the past trading day. We will start with an ETF XHB, the Home Builders ETF. With rate cuts coming in September, this ETF got its boost, almost 6% to the upside, broke a very tough resistance, the 105, the upper border of the yellow zone, very tough resistance, broke to the upside, now the 105 needs to hold the support, long continuation, and we will see 110. Keep following on this ETF, the upside just started, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, you know it. LNTH continuing its uptrend, its bull mania, 36% on Wednesday. Today another 16% overall, 54, almost 54, 53% to the upside in just 2 trading days. Looks very, very bullish. Careful not chasing this kind of bull's mania. Some kind of a pullback is imminent, even if, especially, we're heading into weekend. Run, RUN, Sun Run, 15.5% to the upside. Now the 15 area needs to hold the support. Next we will see 1650, 1850 to the upside. Lovesec Company, LOVE, Love is the ticker with 14.4% to the upside. Finally broke this upper border of the yellow zone. Once a break is coming, a break is coming. Look at this candle. So many times it held the support, broke to the downside, and just moved sideways in the past 1 month below the yellow zone. Very tough resistance. Then came Thursday's candle. SLQT, Select Quote Inc. Very tough resistance. The 330 area, very, very tough resistance. Since May, 2 months of a tough resistance, sideways move. Then came Thursday, 13.8% to the upside, long continuation, and we will see 430 and 512. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you found it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. If not, let me know why. Any feedback will be appreciated. Until the next video, stay safe.